Toyota scoring summary brought to you by Toyota, makers of the Toyota passenger van with comfortable seating for 7. Who could ask for anything more? Pat LaFontaine at 10:40, an unassisted goal, the only scoring play of the first period. The USA outshot Canada 13-11. The goal was unassisted, but Suter didn't get a penalty. He caused the play to happen with that hook that got the turnover for LaFontaine, and then young Patrick made no mistake.
Well, it was quite a shift for Suter, who not only seconds before had nailed on a clean check Kevin Dineen down on the other end of the ice, and Dineen, his right knee appeared by the replays to give in as he was checked down to the ice, and he has gone to hospital, as Dan Matheson mentioned during the intermission. Well, Team Canada's got a bit of a chore in front of it. It has to get its game together, and when I mean together, it means they've got to get some cohesion to their attack. Something that Team USA has done a pretty good job of avoiding so far.
Here we go with Canada possessing the puck. Rochefort into center ice. This is Messier and Langway. Cut on the back of the neck in the first period. Back out there. Here's Joe Olato. Tried to get it to Carpenter. That's broken up. And now Langway, number 5. Two-time Norris Trophy winner from the Washington Capitals. Feeding it to Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter got to center. Now gets it again. Carpenter, number 21, sidesteps a check. Langway couldn't get anywhere, and back comes Hartsburg. Shot right on. Saved by Van Beesbrook. And now Eddie Olczyk feeding Carpenter, number 21. Carpenter and Rochefort to the corner. Rochefort jolting in. Now Presley off the boards to LaFontaine. You're out of the net to feed it up on the boards. Kicked in there, and Sutter gets it for Canada. Dropping it back, and Greg Hartsburg controls number 4. Over to Rochefort. Back to Hartsburg, to Rochefort. Out to Howardchuk. Howardchuk, normally a center, playing on left wing. Now gets it ahead as Tocchet races after loose puck, but Kelly Miller beats him to it. Miller for Team USA, number 11. To LaFontaine. LaFontaine couldn't get around Coffey. To Gretzky. Picked up by Coffey to Gretzky again. Gretzky moves in, shoots one, and that's high off the glass. Here's Brian Propp. Side of the net to Tocchet. He's knocked down. Gretzky trying to center. And now Miller gets it. Propp held it in. Miller battles along the boards and cleared the zone. Paul Coffey at the Team Canada blue line. Off the boards behind Gretzky, and Miller back there like a third defenseman was there to get the puck and fire it up the ice. Here's Murphy to Coffey. Paul Coffey on the attack. Coffey leaving it for Gretzky. Gretzky tied up. Held it in for Team Canada. And now Ramsey back of the net. Reverses the flow, then fires it out. Held in by Crossman for Canada. To Gretzky. Out of Propp. Propp held in front. Backhander off the post, I believe, and into the corner. And then it's cleared away by Team USA. Ure plays the puck, and Crossman is back to get it. Crossman up the middle to Glenn Anderson. He's checked by Brook on the play. And Bourque will try. Now to Mario Lemieux. Through the middle for Lemieux. Tries to center. Pass behind Claude Lemieux. And Brook has it. Claude Lemieux took it away from him. Now Mario Lemieux out in front. Anderson, big save! Van Beesbrook on Glenn Anderson, Canada's best chance. And then Chelios knocks his Montreal Canadian teammate, Claude Lemieux, to the ice. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
These are the up-to-the-moment standings. That includes the 2 games this afternoon. The USA, of course, in front on a better percentage. They have 4 points. Sweden has played 1 more game, as has the USSR. Canada looking to move ahead of everybody if they can win this game, but they're having their difficulties, trailing 1-0 in this hockey game. And talk about having no friends and no quarter-aster given. Claude Lemieux found out from his teammate Chris Chelios.
Here's a face-off. He found out in the first period earlier from Chris Nyland. The Canadians are Canadians in the winter, but here in August and September, it's a different deal. Puck shot in by Mark Johnson, one of the members of that 1980 United States Olympic gold medal team from Lake Placid. The boys of winter, or the Miracle Boys. Puck clear down the ice. Van Beesbrook leaving it for Langway. Flips it up for Aaron Broughton, number 10. Broughton from the New Jersey Devils ahead to Mark Johnson. Into Corey Millen now. Millen unable to get it in front. And going back is Rochefort, number 5. From the Quebec Nordiques ahead to Mike Gartner. Gartner poke checked nicely, and Mark Johnson quickly clears the zone for Team USA. Here's Rochefort, who's on defense with Larry Murphy, giving it to Murphy. Head-manning it to Messier. Messier to Goulet. Goulet right in. Weak shot. Van Beesbrook a stick save. Puck still loose, but taken by Aaron Broughton, number 10. He's tied up by Howard Chuck. Howard Chuck still battling on the boards. Gets it to Messier. Back on the point to Murphy. Low shot. Just wide as it went off his stick. Aaron Broughton failed to clear it. Howard Chuck tried to center to Messier, and now shot away by Kevin Hatcher. The length of the ice. Murphy going back to touch it. That's icing against Team USA. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
There's a rarity with Team Canada, a defensive defenseman. He's the only one on the hockey club. Normand Rochefort may be a key man before all of this is over. He's a tough checker. Very steady in this tournament so far. It's the rushing defensemen that haven't really got their game in gear yet. Although I'll tell you something, Dan, they're showing a little more here in the early stages of the second period.
Team Canada's outshot Team USA in the early minutes here in period 2. 5-0. There's a loose puck. Van Beesbrook, who just made his best save of this game on the last shift against Glenn Anderson, smothered it. Canada with a line of Gretzky, Propp, and Tocchet. So they've put that line back together after starting with Goulet on that line earlier in the hockey game. Here's Chris Chelios shooting it out of there. Olczyk couldn't get it out. Now Gretzky cleared it over onto the open wing, and Gary Suter, number 20, for Team USA. Here's Suter moving it in, flips it into the corner. Going back to get it and firing it away is Crossman to Propp, ahead to Tocchet. Tocchet firing it around on the boards. Team USA, Olczyk just fires it right back out. Joel Otto taken out of the play, and Bourque is back for Canada, number 7. Bourque to Propp. Propp to Gretzky. Gretzky trying to feed it through, but it's tipped away and cleared, but not out. Rochefort, a good play to hold it in. Now Suter on the other side. Action in front of the net as Tocchet got involved with Kelly Miller, but no penalty call. Here's Hartsburg breaking up a play for Canada. Feeding it to center ice. 2-on-1 break for Canada. Lemieux shoots. Hit Mario Lemieux scores. This game tied 1-1.
And this is the first time in the hockey game where the U.S. has made it a mistake. Hatcher's the only one back on a 2-on-1. Oh, I'll tell you, he had Van Beesbrook leaning the wrong way. He dropped his shoulder, looked like he was going to go for the one side, and gulped it in the far side of the net. A 2-on-1, and Mario Lemieux.
First goal of this Canada Cup. They used Claude Lemieux, his winger, as a decoy and blasted it. Back comes Team USA with a shot up high off the glass. And here's Claude Lemieux firing it in. He's out there with Mario Lemieux and Anderson. Team USA break it up, and Chris Nyland takes a hit from Claude Lemieux. There's that Montreal connection again. Nyland has lost the stick, also loses the puck, and Brook feeds out on to the left side. Here's a chance for Kurt Fraser, but Pure comes out and intercepts the pass out and feeds it off, and here's Canada with Anderson. Glenn Anderson, number 9. Moving in, firing one. That's off a skate into the corner. Bill Housley back to get it. To Aaron Brutt. Into center ice. Picked up by Mark Johnson with a shot. Stick save by Fuhr. Now Howardchuk for Canada. With Messier. Messier back to Howardchuk. Shoots one. Weak shot wide. Rebound. Messier. Big slap shot. Wide, and it bounces all the way back.
Notice one thing in the game now. All of a sudden, Canada, for the first time in the tournament, the so-called transition game is working for them. They're turning it over, and they're coming back up ice very quickly.
Here's a shot from the point. Rebound. Ottawa whack at it, and Fuhr had to stop that, and then Ottawa and Messier almost get into it. Housley clearing it in behind the net, and Fuhr is there to grab it and smother it.
The Labatt player of the game for the United States will receive a set of 10 Olympic coins, compliments of Canadian Tire, an official supplier to the Calgary 1988 Olympic Winter Games, and a few dreams along the way. Canadian Tire.
Well, the action is heating up again. A 1-1 game here in the second period. The scoring play, Mario Lemieux from Hartsburg. 5:27 the time in the second period, and there is Big Mario.
Big Mario is right. What a shot he let go, and there's Big Joel, who's supposed to be looking after Big Mario, at least as best he can. Maybe the two biggest guys in the tournament. Joel Otto, 6'4", 220 pounds. And when you think of 6'4" and 220 pounds and you try to match him with a hockey club, you automatically come up with the Calgary Flames, who love those big guys. That may be the toughest guy in the building right there. Mike Keenan, who's had some tough decisions to make and has not hesitated on any of them.
Here's a centering pass for Team USA, and a shot and a save as Bourque came out and made a fine defensive play. That was Wayne Presley, number 14 from the Chicago Blackhawks, who almost gave Team USA the lead.
And Ray Bourque, who came up with kind of a smothering sprawl across the front. There's the defending Norris Trophy winner. Sometimes you get this award for being a offensive type player. There he came through with a very big defensive play as he got down and prevented Wayne Presley from picking a corner.
Team USA with a line of LaFontaine, Presley, and Miller. Canada with Gretzky out there between Kropp and Tocchet. Face-off one. Chelios blasting it wide. And Tocchet comes up with it. Trying to clear it. Knocked down by Kelly Miller. Now Hartsburg trying to slide it up. Suter a drive. Fuhr the save. Rebound. Slid wide of the net as Presley took a whack at it. Now Chelios digging in deep. Kelly Miller backing him up for Team USA. Miller behind the net. Presley centers. Miller shooting. Fuhr without a stick made the save. And then smothered it. And then Hatcher, or at least Hartsburg and Presley almost get into it. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Well, we got penalties off and all of that. Presley and Hartsburg are going off, roughing. Stop some of that stuff. Probably a good call to make at this particular time. Things getting a little heated out there as getting around that net a little bit. Canada's outshot the U.S. 7-4, but remember, they had a 5-0 lead in shots on goal, and suddenly they got the pressure going on Grant Fuhr again, who's made a couple of pretty good saves. There's a little incident in front of the net between number 14 Presley and number 4 Hartsburg.
Joel Otto and Bobby Carpenter will be up front for Team USA. Mario Lemieux, once he gets a new stick, and Mark Messier will be Team Canada's forwards. A little more skating room here with each of these teams going to be a man short.
There have been only 2 penalty situations or manpower situations in this game. Both of them have gone against the U.S. Carpenter for roughing in the first minute of the game, and then Otto went off for interference after dumping Messier at the 17:21 mark.
Suter feeding it in for Carpenter. He's taken out. Larry Murphy comes up with the puck to Bourque. And Ray Bourque trying to feed it out of there. Otto knocked it down. Here's Carpenter. Carpenter dropping it back to Chelios. Backhander deflected. Fuhr, a big save there. That shot hit somebody in the slot area and changed directions, and Fuhr had to be brilliant.
Well, what a deflection was Carpenter's as he just got the shaft of his stick. You watch him in front of the net now. The idea is get in front. There it is, and boy, I'm going to tell you something. These goaltenders have been pretty sharp in this game. Now, Van Beesbrook is one of the best ones in the league, and there's no doubt about Grant Fuhr either. There's Chris Chelios, who makes his home in San Diego right now. And obviously doesn't spend a lot of time skating during the summer months. But Chris went to the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League before going to college. Was the most valuable player in that league. After his folks moved out to San Diego, he went north to Moose Jaw. Played there before going to college.
Each team still a man short. Canada from the face-off with Paul Coffey. Firing it up on right wing, and here's Messier with Mario Lemieux. Poke check by Hatcher to break it up, and John D'Amico whistles the play down on an offside. 1:25 remaining in the penalties to Hatcher, or pardon me, to Hartsburg, and to Wayne Presley of Team USA.
Kevin Hatcher there from Detroit, another one of the Detroit players who stepped into the NHL at the age of 19, straight out of North Bay. And I guess you don't mess with that big guy either. He spent a lot of his off time as a teenager working out in the Kronk Gym in Detroit. That is the gymnasium that, among others, produced, I guess, Milton McCrory, Thomas Hitman Hearns.
Here's Bob Brook for Team USA. Now Howard Chuck trying to hold it behind the net. Couldn't, and Canada come up with it, and controlling it is Doug Crossman. Over for Howard Chuck. Dale Howard Chuck, number 10, with Lemieux. Howard Chuck now trying to feed it through for Bourque. Hatcher intercepting. And back comes Kevin Hatcher, number 4. Hatcher fires it to Miller. Misses him, and Crossman goes back. Canada won. Team USA won. Here's Bourque into center ice. Knocked down by Howard Chuck. He carries in. Fakes trying to work around Housley. Housley stayed right with him. Now Mario Lemieux has scored the goal. Lemieux flipping it into the corner. There's a big jam up there, and a stoppage in play as neither Howard Chuck nor Mike Ramsey seem to be worrying about the puck more than just holding it there.
Dale Howard Chuck. Not too many first overall draft choices, interestingly enough, in this tournament. Here's one of them, though, in 1981. Who's the other one? And I can tell you, he wears number 66. Not a bad one. I guess we would mention 99, except for there was a little deal went on there, and
he didn't go in the draft.
Drafted. Started his pro career in Indianapolis at some point.
Here's Messier now out there with Gretzky and Coffey. 26 seconds left in the penalties. Face off deep in Team USA's end. Housley. Messier wins the draw. Messier trying to get away from Housley. Now it's centered, but Messier couldn't get a shot off as Gretzky got it in front. Here's Messier again. Leaving it for Coffey. Coffey checked before he could shoot on a very good defensive play along the boards and at the blue line. And it was Carpenter that made the play. Here's Messier moving in. Rochefort's shot deflects wide. Penalized players are back on, and now an injured player down on the ice for Team Canada.
It's Coffey who's down there, and there's a great deal of concern being expressed by Normand Rochefort, who's standing right there. He went down on that check right at the boards as he was pinned in there. Here it comes now. He fanned on the shot as he was checked. I think he got bumped up against that stanchion. No, it isn't. It may have been his ribs. And you can see the grimace there. He is in pain right there as he was checked in against the boards by Bobby Carpenter. We'll take a break right now. A 1-1 tie. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Peter Lindmark, the much unheralded, I guess, in North America goaltender for Sweden, has shut out Czechoslovakia this afternoon. 4-0 final score there. Finland finally scored a couple of goals and still managed to lose to the Soviet Union 7-4. Meanwhile, down on the ice, they are still, hey, look at that fellow. He's been in this Canada Cup before.
Scott Bowman, former coach of the Montreal Canadiens, former GM and coach of the Buffalo Sabres, and also at one time at the St. Louis Blues.
And a winner and a loser in the Canada Cup as a head coach. Here's the injury. Good, solid check up against the boards. Bobby Carpenter has really shown some aggression in this game. I'm sure that's going to make the Rogie Vachon, the people who run the Los Angeles Kings, very happy. A terrible year last year. Saw them go 3 different teams. And Coffey now up and being assisted towards the bench. We'll see what the disposition is from that point on. But he obviously took a shot on the ribs as he hit the dasher board there. At least that high board along the glass.
He was speaking of Carpenter. He went from Washington to the Rangers to Los Angeles, and Bob Johnson today at Team USA's workout was just raving about the play of Carpenter as a left winger, particularly on this USA squad. You get the feeling Carpenter's ready to have a big year in L.A.
Well, a 53-goal scorer, as a matter of fact, the highest scoring American in NHL history in terms of goals, and he went from 53 to about 25 to 9 in 60 games last year. Nobody can figure out what happened to his game, except for he lost complete confidence in himself.
Here is Howard Chuck for Canada, moving in, sliding it in behind the net. Brent Sutter there to Howard Chuck, shot, saved by Van Beesbrook, and with the help of Chelios, covers up on it. And then a skirmish in front of the net. Howard Chuck down at the bottom of that pile. And he's upset at somebody, and I'm not sure. Oh, we'll know momentarily when they untangle here.
Well, now we know why we have a Canadian and an American linesman out there. Ted Sater. Walking behind the Team USA bench. Get a chance again to take a look. There's Sutter, very much involved. I think Howard Chuck got the kind of wood on that shot that he really wanted, and it allowed Van Beesbrook to react. Now here comes the pileup as Van Beesbrook covered
it was Suter that knocked him down, and that's the guy Howard Chuck was upset at.
And we're going to, penalty gate is open, so there's going to be a penalty handed out, and headed for the penalty bench is Suter again.
He signals interference.
I'll take a look at it again. Watch number 20. He's going to put the clutch on Howard Chuck. That's it. I'd say that's interference. I'd say that's something. Call something. I don't know. I can give it a name. We'll give it a penalty. Anyway.
Well, I call it charging. I think he signaled interference, but they announced it as charging. So Canada will have a power play, and Ron, they've really struggled in the power play. Team Canada's had only 1 goal in the entire series so far, and this their 3rd game.
You're batting 100. You don't stay in any league.